Hi, my name is Michael Harlow, and I'm the race director for the East Coast Triathlon Festival. This briefing will go over the youth and adult age group races. We are very excited that you'll be joining us in Richmond on May 1st and look forward to providing you an amazing race experience. Before I get started, I do want to give recognition to the several sponsors who are making this race possible. You can see all these sponsors on this slide. If you are aware of these sponsors or have any opportunity to do business with these sponsors, we highly recommend it. These sponsors believe in fitness. They believe in triathlon and the impact of fitness in people's lives. And so I would encourage you to seek out these different businesses and do business when appropriate with them. Also, I want to talk a little bit about the Live Red Foundation. The Live Red Foundation produces this event, but our mission at the Live Red Foundation is to provide free fitness programs that teach life skills to children in Richmond's lowest opportunity neighborhoods. These are some of the lowest opportunity neighborhoods in the country, and we in 2021 worked with over 6,000 participants, teaching them life skills through free fitness programs that they would not have access to without the Live Red Foundation that provides it. Now we fund these free programs. We raise the money for these free programs through our race series. So events like the East Coast Triathlon Festival. We put on about 15 different events during the course of a year, and all of the funds raised from these events go to providing these free fitness programs. So by participating in this event today, on this event at the East Coast Triathlon Festival, you are helping us to impact the lives of thousands of kids. So thank you for being part of it. Let's talk a little bit about parking. So the parking situation will be the exact same as it was last year. You will see that the main event staging area will take place in this red circle. There's no parking in that section during the race. We also, this road, Highwoods Parkway, along the purple line, is going to be closed, and we're not allowing any cars to come in there this year. So there will be no parking along that purple section, Highwoods Parkway. So the best places to park are either in the green areas or the blue area, which is the hotel area. The blue area is the hotel area. That's the ideal section. You can just ride your bike in or walk in the morning of the event. It is less than a mile to get to the race venue from that main hotel area. I will also just point out real quickly, the yellow circle is the parking lot right next to the main staging area, and you can park there, but you have to be in before 7 a.m. and you won't be able to leave until probably about 5:30 p.m. So if you're going to be there all day, that's a fine area to park in. But if you're planning to leave in the middle of the day, you do not want to park there because you will be blocked in. Here's the full race schedule for Sunday, April 30th. The schedule for Saturday, April 29th, can be found on the website just in terms of packet pickup and different things like that. But this is for the race day schedule. So you'll see that we will kick off with the junior development races at 7 and 8:30. Then we'll go into the youth development races at 10 and 11. Then we'll have at noon an age group 5 to 10-year-old triathlon and duathlon. Those events will be going off at the same time. At 1 o'clock, the age group 11 to 17 triathlon and duathlon, followed by the adult age group triathlon and duathlon at 2 o'clock p.m. In addition to that, we are going to close out the day with the National Development Cup female race at 3 and the National Development Cup male race at 4:30. You want to pay attention to your specific schedule. They all follow the same flow. but it's important to kind of note where you are going to need to be at different times. So transition will open up at 1 hour before your race start. For all 3 races, transition will open up 1 hour before your race start. At 45 minutes before the race start, your swim will open up for warm up. 15 minutes before, your transition will close. We will ask you to be at the race start with your swim cap in your timing chip, all ready to go 10 minutes before, and we will line you up in numerical order and then call you out to choose your starting position. The race will start, and then we will have awards very quickly after each race. Now, this is a huge benefit to you because you don't need to wait around 3-4 hours for awards. Instead, we make it a priority to turn that around as quickly as possible. So once you finish, make sure you stay near the finish line for those awards. Let's go over a few things that you need to know before your race once you arrive at the race site. So there are a variety of different warm-up options that you have. You already know the swim warm-up details per the other slide that we just went over. For the bike and run, the key is that you want to stay off of the main course if there is a live race going on. If there isn't a live race going on, you're welcome to warm up on the course. So if there is a live race going on, you can use a trainer to warm up on the bike, or there are a variety of neighborhoods and side roads on the outside of the course, which would be great options for you. For the run, you can run around down by the swim and around the lakes and around the kind of business park inside the course, or go on the outside perimeter of the course. The check-in is going to be located outside of each transition area. For ages 5 to 10, this will be in transition B. Ages 11 to 17, transition A, and for the adults, it will be transition B. You're going to want to bring a bike and your helmet, which it's best to have that helmet on your head as you come into transition so that we can check and make sure that it's safe, as well as your uniform already on your body. The 5 to 10-year-olds will be body marked at their transition area. Everyone else, the adults as well as the ages 11 to 17, will have tattoos in your packet, and you will want to come to transition with those tattoos on you. Those can be on the outside of your leg, near on the outside of your calf areas where you're going to want to put those on. But those tattoos don't work great for our younger kids, so we body mark you guys, anyone ages 5 to 10. As you go down to the swim start, you're going to receive your swim caps as well as your timing chips down by the swim start. You want to be staged and ready to go 10 minutes before the start. Talk about the course. Now, transition is denoted by the last 2 digits of your number. So if you are number 529, you're going to find the placard that has 29 on it. That is because we have multiple different races throughout the day, and 29, 129, 229, 329, all those athletes are going to use the same area for their specific race. So if you are 529, you're going to find the spot that has the last 2 digits 29, and you are going to rack there. In transition 1, we encourage you to rack by the seat, but you can also rack by the handlebars. You can face that bike towards the field of play, so towards the inside of transition. If you can't rack it, namely we're talking to those 5 to 10-year-olds out there, we will find a place for you to kind of put this beside a rack, and that is perfectly fine. We will work with you. We specialize in youth races, so don't worry, we will be able to help you out with that. Your gear should all be on the bike or behind the front wheel of the bike. And then once racked, we don't want you to remove the bike until the race start, until you actually get there and you're in the race. So make sure you do your warm up before you come and actually rack your bike. Now, another big question we get with those younger kids is, can a parent come in? And we do allow parents to come in before the race and help you get set up. But once the race starts, no parents are allowed into the transition area. Now with transition B or transition 2, when you come back from the bike, you can rack the bike by the seat or both handlebars / both bike brake levers. And we encourage you to position that away from the field of play, so facing away from the center of transition. And then you might have used race bibs with like maybe a hook to like a race belt in the past. We do not use these for this race. So very simple. You don't have to grab anything as you run out of transition 2, other than your running shoes and a smile. This is what transition looks like. So the swim is down here. You're going to be running up to transition. It's a little under 500 feet to get from here up to the entrance to transition. You'll go through transition and out on to the bike. When you come back from the bike, you'll be coming right through here into transition and then heading out onto the run. Got several more slides to kind of explain this a little bit easier. Here's another look from a GPS. So you'll see there's 2 different transition areas, transition A and transition B. You will see the entrance to get into transition is right over here on the side, and right over here on the side. So you'll want to be aware that's how you're going to find transition. So if you are entering into this transition, you're going to need to kind of go around and enter in here, or you can go around here and enter into here. Now you'll see this transition is closed. There are athletes setting up. You'll see this green barricade blocking any athletes that are racing at the time from going in there. And one transition will be used for setting up for the next race, so athletes can be entering, setting up, and getting ready. While this transition area is live, so when you come through here, you won't be able to get in here. You'll only be able to get into yours, and then you'll be able to head out on that bike, and then when you come back from the bike, you'll be coming in here and going into only your transition area. Again, another look at this. So transition A is live, so you'll see transition B is blocked off. It's got a barricade, so you can't go through there. Athletes can be setting up for the next race there. So the flow will look just like that. In transition B, same thing. When that's live, it will flow just right through here. All right, the swim course. You will, like I mentioned before, you'll receive your swim cap and your chip at the swim start. There is an in-water start with buoys on your right, just 1 lap. Now, the way this works is when we will call you out, you'll be able to choose your position. There's a long green carpet with every spot that you can choose. You can choose whichever one is still open that you prefer, and you will stand there. Then the starter will ask you to enter the water. You will step into the water, and there's a shelf. It's about 3 or 4 feet deep. You'll be able to stand there on that kind of in that shallow water. You will put your hand on the wall that lines the water's edge, and then you will listen for the starter's commands. The starter will say, "On your mark," and then you'll hear an air horn. When you hear that air horn, that means you can dive into the water and head out on your start. Now, when you dive, that shelf that you're standing on gets deep really quick. It gets down to about 5-6 feet deep. So you'll be diving into deeper water. If you are doing the duathlon, you will line up right next to the swim start. You will be called out just like the swimmers, and you will line up, and then you will be doing 1 lap around the lake. I'll show you what that looks like in just a second. Here's what the swim course looks like for all of the various events that we have on this one day. So one thing you're going to really need to pay attention to is that all of the buoys will be orange, orangey red, except for the one that you are going to make the right hand or U-turn at. So for the ages 5 to 10 triathlon, we are just going to make that right-hand turn at this first yellow buoy that you can see here. All of the other ones will be orange for your race. For the ages 11 to 17, the first buoy will actually be orange. The second one will be yellow, and that's the one you're going to make your turn at. And for the adult age group, that third one right behind the fountain will be yellow, and all the other ones will be orangey red. And that yellow is the one that you're going to make your turn at. So it's really important that you just understand that you're looking for that yellow buoy. That's the one that you're going to be turning at. The others are sighting buoys. The bike course for our 5 to 10-year-olds is one loop, it's 3 miles, and for ages 11 to adult, it is 2 loops, which is 6 miles. You're going to be following a clockwise direction. There's one 180-degree turn on the course. I'm going to show you in just a second, but you will not actually travel back in through transition on each one. You'll stay out on the course until you're done, and then then make that right-hand turn going into transition. It is because we have multiple laps and there could be a biker on the course at the same time as a runner for the 11 to 17-year-old race and the adult race. The course is a little narrow along that run course because you'll have runners on the course on one side of the cones, and you'll have cyclists on the course on the other side of the cone. So you'll just want to be safe, be aware that there are runners out on the course on that section, and just be as safe as possible. We also want to make you aware of construction and road work that's happening at this time. Right now, Innsbruck is a thriving new area. They're doing a lot of construction and they're expanding the road in one area. I'm being told that everything will be fine by race day, though the pavement of the road might not be 100% completed. It might have kind of a first or second layer on there, but not have the silky smooth kind of final layer on there. Still be perfectly fine to ride over, but we just want you aware of it because the road surface might change a little bit in that area. There are also a few speed humps and bumps on the course, all in one section. They are perfectly fine to ride right through. We've done it at 26 miles per hour, no problem, but you want to be aware of them just so you know that they're coming. All right. Well, looking at this bike course, here we are in transition. You're going to come out, make a right-hand turn. This section right here, all the way over to here, is where there might be a runner or runners on the course. And the road will be separated for a runner's section and a cyclist section. So you just want to be aware of it. This is a fairly flat section, 400 meters into the course. You'll make a right-hand turn right here, slightly downhill to another hard right-hand turn. Because this is downhill, this is a faster, kind of sharper turn. We'll want you really aware of that. And make sure you're kind of using your brakes coming into it. We do have hay bales along here and on most corners on the course for safety, but you will want to be aware of that sharper, kind of faster turn. This is a slightly uphill section. All the way up to here. It's slightly uphill, and frequently you will see wind on the course along that section, but nothing too bad. Right-hand turn right here, slight uphill, then slight downhill to the right-hand turn onto Dominion Boulevard. This is a nice flowy section of the course, but we do want to make you aware that here is where a lot of that construction is taking place, and you're going to want to be aware that the surface of the road might change slightly. You're going to come down here, make a left-hand turn and then a right-hand turn down to a U-turn at the bottom of Waterfront Place, and then slight uphill to a right-hand turn on Highwoods Boulevard. This is where you'll see 1, to 3 speed bumps as you kind of finish your loop. Now, if you have 2 loops and you've just done 1, you're going to want to continue straight here. When you are done with all of your loops, so that's 1 for the 5 to 10-year-olds and 2 for 11 and older, including the adults. Once you complete your second one, you're going to make a right-hand turn and come back into transition from there. All right, again, transition looks just like this. So this is that turn to go back into transition after your last lap or your first lap for the 5 to 10-year-olds. Okay, let's talk a little bit about the run course. So the run course is just going to be 1 lap for ages 5 to 10. This is a half-mile loop just out and back for ages 11 to 17 as well as our adults. It's a 1.55 or 2.5K longer loop. The course follows part of the bike course. It's really important that when you are along the same course as the bike course, that you are aware of the cyclists on the course. Now you will be separated. There will be a run lane and there will be a bike lane that's separated by cones, but you still need to be careful along that section. There will be an aid station with water on the course. You're simply going to make a U-turn at your turnaround, and then as you approach the finish line, you're going to make a left-hand turn around a cone that brings you into the finish line chute. Please be aware that there is no pacing by coaches, teammates, and friends. This is a good way to get a penalty, and so you just want to be aware of that. Now the run course is going to exit transition the same way that the bike did, and you're going to run right down along Highwoods Parkway. You are going to get to Sadler Place, and this is where the 5 to 10-year-olds are going to turn around, right there at the intersection of Sadler and Highwoods Parkway. You will see this with the blue arrow on the map. But our 11 to 17-year-olds, as well as our adults, will continue down the hill on Sadler Place and make a right-hand turn on the Cox. You will continue downhill slightly to the lake, and then it'll be a slight uphill to your turnaround. Now, please be aware again that all along Highwoods Parkway in Sadler and out to your turnaround at Cox, you will have cyclists on the left side of you or on the outside of you throughout that whole section. So we need to be really aware and careful during that. But again, you will be separated by cones. I also just want to point out while I'm here, the duathlon course, for those that are doing the duathlon, the first run is going to start down here at the corner. You're going to see this blue map or this blue line going around the swim course. So when the swimmers take off, you will also take off, and you'll follow the perimeter of the course. You'll go across a little bridge and then over onto the other side, and you will cross the timing mat just as the swimmers will and head into transition. So that's the first run on the duathlon, and then the second run will follow this red course. All right, after the race, we've got a lot of fun things for you. As you cross the finish line, you will be handed food, drink, medal, all near the finish line. We've got all that for you. We do want you to quickly remove your bikes from transition immediately after the race. This is really important because there's another race coming after yours, and so it's going to be important to get your stuff out so that we can get another group in there to get ready for their race. Awards will be held shortly after each race. We are estimating that this will be around 12:45 for our 5 to 10-year-olds, 1:45 for our 11 to 17-year-olds, and about 3 o'clock for our adults. We will award top 3 youth as well as top 3 adult triathletes in each age group, as well as top 3 overall duathletes. Okay, real quickly, I just want to go over some rules and penalties. Now, I'm not the official, so these are recommendations that I am giving you, but any questions should be run by the officials at the race site. But a few things I just want you aware of, and please take a moment to click on this link and just learn all about the different rules for adult triathlon as well as youth triathlon. But a few things you'll want to be aware of is that are kind of common penalties. Or you don't want to start before that you hear the horn blasts on the swim. You can get a penalty for a false start. You can get a penalty for blocking or drafting. I encourage you to kind of look this up and understand what that looks like. But in general, you want to stay to the far right-hand side of the road. And if you need to pass someone, you're going to pass them on the left. You're going to pass them on the left. You have approximately 15 seconds to make that pass and get around them. If someone does pass you and comes around you, then you need to drop out of that draft zone, which is essentially 3 bike lengths, before you enter the draft zone and make another pass around them. So it's your responsibility if someone passes you to drop out of their draft zone. You could potentially get a penalty for blocking as well. Blocking just means riding on the far left-hand side of the road so that someone can't go around you on the left. You would also get a penalty for abusive language, missing the mount or dismount line. What we mean by that is the mount line and the dismount line separates the bike course from the transition area. You cannot ride your bike in the transition area, so you need to cross the mount line at the beginning of the bike before getting on the bike, and you need to get off your bike before the dismount line, which starts the transition area. All of your bikes should have bar end plugs at the end of the handlebars. This is really important to make sure that you have. If you don't have them, we will have some at the Endorphin Fitness Bike Shop tent to be able to help you on race morning. Your helmet needs to be a certified helmet. It should have a CPSC sticker inside of it. And it should be on and the chin strap buckled when on the bike at all times. You want to make sure that you only discard your gear inside your specific transition area and not out on the course or in another area along transition. And then quickly on aero helmets, disc wheels, and aero bars. These are allowed in the adult race, but they are not allowed in any way in the youth race. This is a USAT youth triathlon rule. So please do not come with aero helmets, disc wheels, or aero bars if you are competing in the 17 years or younger category, including the 10 and younger category as well. So with that, you are all prepared for race day. We wish you the very best of luck, and we are so excited to see you in Richmond the weekend of April 30th and May 1st.